It really does feel a lot of times when you're loving in spite of how you feel that a part of you is dying.
Yeah.
It feels like a part of you is like, you know? It's like, I don't want to love you right now.
Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Between the Walls. We're your hosts. My name is Jessica.
And I'm Jonathan, and this is the Between the Walls podcast.
Did I say we're the walls?
We're the walls.
We're the Wallaces. I'm Jessica Wallace. This is my husband, Jonathan Wallace. So welcome back. Today is episode 3.
Episode 3. I think we should stop saying the episode titles just in case we decide to
move
them around.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, today might have been episode 3, but also I want to say we've been recording the other episodes in like earlier in time. What's the word I'm looking for?
In advance?
Sure. In advance. So last night we just posted our first episode. So I just want to say thank you guys for like all the great, just the support and the great feedback and all that fun stuff. And just for listening, for being in listening ear, and for being so nice. It was definitely a very vulnerable first episode. I don't expect all of them, and I don't want you guys to expect all of them to be so deep and so like, we're going to cry with you. Like, we're going to cry, we're going to laugh. We'll keep it real, all that fun stuff.
Yeah, we can't bare our souls every single time.
No. And I hate people seeing me cry. And editing myself cry is the cringiest thing. It took a lot for me to leave that in there because I normally don't like leave me crying in. Ooh, I hate it. So
it was so weird that usually Jess is okay with getting the attention from the videos, but she did not like it.
I mean,
she liked it, but she didn't. But it made her uncomfortable for a little bit.
What do you mean by that? You're saying I'm okay with getting attention from the videos? Like, what does that mean?
I mean, it's normal. I'm saying it's normal to you because you do this for a living. Usually it doesn't affect you like that, but this was so personal.
Yeah,
that it affected you more. I could tell.
Compliments or something, but I am not good with sympathy. So when people are like, texting me, like I appreciate it though, like and at the same time, it like makes me feel good and loved. You know, like say you're crying, or maybe this is just me. Like, remember, if I'm crying at school or something, if someone asks me if I'm okay, I'm gonna cry more. I know, but if nobody checks on me either, I'm be like, hello.
Does nobody care? Nobody cares about me.
So that's how I felt. And people were like texting me. I'm like, oh my gosh, my family and my friends, they care. But also, I'm like, oh, I hate this. I hate that everybody knows. But anyway, it's fine. So I just wanted to say thank you guys.
Thanks so much.
Yeah.
So today we just wanted to talk about a pretty light topic.
Yeah. We don't have that much time. We're literally supposed to be at praise and worship practice in 30 minutes.
But that's not going to happen. That's not going to happen.
We told them we were running late.
Yeah, but we just...
Sorry, my watch always does that. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, we just wanted to talk about different ways we can love others well. Like love well within relationships, like romantic relationships, whether it's friendship relationships, just loving well. And the way we're going to do that is we're going to talk about love languages. Someone wrote a book called The 5 Love Languages. I should probably give that person credit. I do not know off the top of my head, but I do know that person's love languages though. And just using them as a way to understand one another better and to better love the people around you.
Yeah. When's the last time you even took that test?
When's the last time I took that? I didn't take that test. Wow, it's been a long time. It's been probably years, but I feel like I know myself well enough to kind of know what my love languages are at this point.
Yeah.
But I haven't taken the test in a while.
Do you know if you can rate from top to bottom what yours are?
I think I can. Well, actually,
let me rate yours.
Wait, I think we should start by explaining what the 5
my bad.
love
now
languages
jumping
are.
Ahead. Sorry.
I think she's so excited.
Go ahead, honey.
She's just so excited.
So excited.
Okay, so the 5 love languages are: first, words of affirmation; second, quality time; 3, acts of service; 4, gifts; and 5, physical touch. So it's just a way of saying that everybody likes to give love and receive love in different ways. So we all typically like to give love in the same way that we like to receive love. So someone whose love language is gifts, like their personal one is gifts, they might try to show love by getting the other person a lot of gifts. Yeah. And that's the way they show love to you. And someone else who's words of affirmation, like you always have that friend that's hitting you up. It's like, dude, I love you. You're really a great guy, all that good stuff. That's because their love language is probably words of affirmation.
Yeah.
All that to say that when you know somebody's love language well and you know how they experience love better, it can help you love that person better. All right, now we can get into our own love languages.
Yeah.
So do you want to try to guess mine from like highest
Yes.
of importance to lowest of
I
importance?
do. So, y'all, I've known my husband for a very long time, and I know that his number one, right now at least, his number one is quality time. My husband just loves to spend time. And let me know each one if I'm right. Quality time, top.
Yes.
Okay. The second one, I'm gonna give. Dang, I really only knew the first one. I'm gonna assume your second one is physical touch. I'm wrong.
It's not wrong, but actually maybe it is. Maybe it's right. Maybe it is physical touch.
Okay. Number 3, I want to say is oof. I think 3 and 4 might be like neck and neck with you because 3 and 4 or the next 2, Jonathan doesn't really receive either of these well. But I know that he does like them. So there's words of affirmation and there's gifts. So I don't think you're amazing at receiving things, and neither am I. Well, actually,
But what does that mean?
like when I be like, "Oh, husband, you so fine." He's like, "Don't stop." Like yeah, like that. Or if I buy him something, he's like, "Oh my, why did you do that?" You know, like
yeah.
I don't think you're great at receiving, but I do think you like it. But I don't know if you know how to receive it well, and I'm that way sometimes too. So that's why I'm not sure which one I would put, but because you're a man, and I feel like most men have words of affirmation quite high, I'm going to put that number 3.
I feel like you left acts of service for 5, and I don't think it's that low.
Really?
Yeah, I don't think so. It might be a 3. Honestly, it might be a 3-way tie.
This is a whole nother conversation because I don't even want to say it. Okay.
No, go for it.
I was going to say, okay, wait. Is acts of service high because you like to do those for me, or you like when I do them for you? Because I do acts of service every day, and I don't feel like it's like super like, not that it's not appreciated, but I don't think you're like, well, maybe that is what I'm trying to say.
She feels, oh, dang, we're having a therapy session. Well, I think there are some things that you do. Well, there's a lot of things that you do, like on the everyday basis, that I guess I can become numb to just because you do them all the time. So, one on me that I need to do better at realizing those things, or I need to let some of them go undone sometimes so I can realize that you do it all the time.
I be trying, but then I'm like, oh my gosh, I have to do it.
Because I might not even really realize that it's something that needs to be done because it's always done. But that's a testament to you as a wife.
Well, thanks.
You know, these are words of affirmation right here. But it is a testament to you as a wife. But I think when I think about acts of service, if there's like a sphere of like things that like I guess I would usually do, and you do the thing that I was supposed to do or that I forgot to do or I dropped the ball, like it means a lot to me. Like there have been times where I've left my computer at home and I need my computer at work, and she's dropped everything she has to do in the day to drive my computer to work. Things like that touch my heart a lot.
Is that
so? That's like an act of service, but it's not like a regular daily chore.
Yeah.
I'm not saying daily chores don't make me happy. But
no, that's fine. I understand. So kind of like going out of my way. Like if I went and put gas in your car or something.
Yeah, going out of your way to do nice things, like really nice things.
You know what? Now that I'm thinking about it, maybe my everyday task isn't really an act of service because I'm also doing it for me.
I think you're primarily doing it for you. I don't think you really care. You would be doing those things if I wasn't here too.
It's true. Okay, so I need to work on that then. Because, you know, I feel like I could fall into that thing that, like, I'm not trying to categorize anyone, but kind of like some men, some men who, like, provide, and they're like, oh, daddy, you don't spend time with me. He's like, okay, but I'm working, and I put food on your back. Is that not loving you, you know?
Yeah.
And me, maybe, like, it's a little different, but I'm thinking, oh, I wash the clothes and fold them and blah, blah. Like, is that not acts of service? But I guess technically it's not really.
Yeah.
So, okay. All right, cool. I'm glad we talked about this.
Yeah.
So is that higher than words of affirmation and gifts for you?
I don't know. I'm really weird. I think I have quality time at such a number one. Everything else kind of falls at like a 4-way tie, and like maybe gifts on the bottom end of that.
Okay.
I mean, I do like gifts too. I mean, one of the best just got me a pair of shoes the other day, And
It was 6 months ago. I actually looked at it the other day.
but I don't know. It felt like the other day. But she got me a pair of shoes, and I just could not believe that she bought the shoes. First, because I'm like, I can't believe you spent that much money on a pair of footwear. But secondly, because I just wanted them so bad, and the fact that I had them, I would not have bought them on my own. So the fact that Jess got those shoes for me was a great gift, and I appreciated it. So I don't know. I like all those, the 5 love languages, but I think quality time is just
It's number one.
Yeah. So to explain quality time, it's not necessarily being in the same place together. Being in the same place together is important as well, but it's being in the same place together with a shared activity. Like we're both doing the same thing, whether it's like watching the game, she's watching the game with me.
Yeah.
Or whether we're watching a movie, she's locked in and watching the movie with me.
Yeah, because that's what makes it quality, I guess. It's not just time. Because like when we're together watching the game, and then I'm not really like I'm on my phone or something. He's like, "Oh my, did you see that?" And I'm like, "Huh?" Like that doesn't feel like we're together for you. But if I'm like, "Oh my God, babe," so I'd be locked in sometimes, but I'd be missing it. But so that's what you mean, like that?
Yeah. That's like the quality time thing.
Yeah.
And I was gonna say something, but I want to guess yours first, and then we'll get into.
All right, let me guess mine in my head really quick. We all know number one.
Easy number one. Writing down my ideas so
mine
I don't
is
lose
kind of
it.
like the same as yours. It's like number one, so there, and then I want all of them. But okay, I think I'm ready.
Okay, her number one with a bullet, easy peasy, is physical touch.
Yeah.
Jessica Harvey Wallace is a physical touch girly. So it doesn't necessarily just mean like sexual things, and for the most part, it doesn't mean sexual things, but it really means just like me having my hand on her leg.
I love this.
Hand on her leg, or just my hand on her back, or me playing in her hair.
I feel like you could work on that one.
I could.
I always lay in his lap, and I'm like, please play in my hair. I'm like, please. I love that one. But okay.
Just like my hands on her, our bodies touching in
They
whatever.
saw you
way.
touching my toes in the last.
I saw that. I didn't even realize I was doing it.
Good.
Actually, there's a funny story about me not realizing I'm touching somebody's toes.
Whose
Lisa,
toes?
remember when we...
Do you want to tell that? That's not important.
But yeah, it's not important. I didn't even remember why we got here. Oh, touching your feet.
Yeah.
But I think the difference in my physical touch and your physical touch is that when we're watching the game, let's say I'm watching the game, you're perfectly content to be on your phone as long as I'm touching you and we're in contact.
Yeah.
And you're feeling as loved as love can be. Where to me, that's nice, but without the quality time, like the talking or like watching the same thing, it's not like the fullness of me feeling loved. But so your number one for sure is physical touch. After that, I would say words of affirmation is number 2.
That's good because number 2 and 3, I flipped it in the past year. Words of affirmation.
She really loves those.
And you know what?
I'm lacking.
There's a thing. So
I feel like I can never give her enough of those because like every time I think I'm doing good, but I'm really telling her she looks good, and then she's like, "You haven't really been telling me that." I'm like, "Oh."
Okay, and I know it sounds like shallow, and we talked about this. Like our first argument and our biggest argument ever was over words of affirmation. It's so silly. Well, it wasn't over that, but it kind of stemmed from that a little bit. But like there are plenty of times like I get dressed up and like do my makeup and hair a lot because that's what most of my job is. If you don't know, I do like hair and like makeup and blah blah on my social media. So a lot of times Jonathan will see me pre-done up with my scarf on, no makeup, and like sweats. Well, I live in sweats. And then I'll like come downstairs, my hair is done, my makeup is done, and he'll be like, "Oh, pass me the remote," or something. And I'll be like, "I'm sorry. Did you not just catch the big reveal? Hello?" Like, it was not like, "Dang, girl, you look good." Like, wow. And it happened 20 minutes ago, too. Last time you saw me, what I look like?
Oh, you looked great as well.
No. Yes, thank you. But no, last time you saw me, I don't even think my wig was fully on yet. I had no makeup.
Yeah.
My outfit wasn't on. I came downstairs looking like this, and I was like, "Babe, pass my charger." And he just passes it to me. And that was it. I'm like, "Hello." Please.
All right, so here's the thing. Here's the thing with this. If she wants to do all the makeup, or she has to do the makeup and the whole 9 yards for her job or for herself, that is more than fine with me. More power to you. Get lit. You're awesome. For me personally, what BBL Drizzy said,
Ugh.
sweatpants, hair tied, chilling with no makeup on. For me personally, I feel like all of that isn't my favorite thing. You know, like all the makeup and then the hair and the done up with. It's not for me personally. So if I'm giving you, words of affirmation, it's just because I want you to hear it rather than that's because that's how I'm feeling. I do think you're beautiful and I do think you look nice. But if you don't do that for me, you're doing that for you, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Well, we are talking, though, about how to love your spouse
No,
the
no,
way
no,
they
no.
want to be.
100%.
And unless I cut my hair bald headed, if I still look good, it don't hurt to tell somebody. You know what I'm
No,
saying?
I get you. My brain just doesn't always go there immediately.
It
And I think
don't, yo. Because sometimes I don't think, like, I really don't think you're not telling me on purpose. But, like, I just don't think his head is like, in there sometimes, especially when he's doing something. Because a lot of the times I will come downstairs after, like, trying to do my big reveal and he's doing something. Like, last time that we had this conversation where you washing the dishes or something.
Yeah, I was trying to do
Oh,
a bunch of different things at the same
yeah.
time. And I just...
Like, he sees me, but he doesn't, like, see me for real.
Yeah, because
that sounds so sad. I need you to get some glasses, but I need you to see me for real.
Yeah, my brain is not thinking, oh, snap, I need to tell Jess he looks nice right now.
Yeah.
Because my brain is...
It's okay, though. It's not the biggest
and then
deal.
And then part of it is that I think in my delivery as well. So I think for girls, this matters a lot more than guys. Like how you say something is sometimes more important than what you say. Because in moments like this, I've now trained my brain more so than before to say, oh, you look nice. But if like that's all I give her, then she's kind of like...
And the thing is, like, I know, not that he doesn't mean it, but I know, like, he's doing it because I'm like, I know he doesn't like this stuff. But it's fine. It's for the job.
No, yeah,
it's
but
okay. It's okay.
I know, and I'm not saying this, but I think this is an important topic because for girls, it is, and I think for guys, we need to realize that how we say things is often more important than what we're saying. You know? And I think as guys, we don't always realize that. It's like, but I told her she looked good. But you didn't give her the energy she wanted, so you failed. But I don't mean that in a bad way. I mean that in like a very real way. So it's like, in order to make you feel loved, I have to deliver my words of affirmation in a way, in a vehicle that would make you feel loved.
Come on, vehicle. I know that's right. All right. I love you. It's okay.
So acts of service next.
Yeah.
Then quality time, then gifts.
Yeah. Yep. That's pretty much it. That's it. Okay, we're pretty much on the same page. I feel like as long as we got our number ones and twos for real, I think they're all important, but like at top two.
It's solid. Yeah.
Get you.
I think one
have a good night.
that I oh, Jess. One thing that I wrote down while we were talking that I didn't want to forget is that nothing makes you feel more loved than when somebody is meeting your love languages. But on the flip side of that is nothing makes you feel more unloved when people are withholding your preferred love language. So the reason I say that is that since quality time is so important to me, I never feel more unloved by Jess than when I feel like she's ignoring me because she's too busy or something.
Yeah.
Like, because sometimes there are days where she will have to work all day, and her job being different than mine, in my head, especially more so when we first got married than right now. When I came home from work, I'm like, all right, bring on the quality time. Come love me. Like I'm ready to be loved. But her job just being different in that it's less intense in times, so there's no set hours. So she was always a little bit on. So for me, that would drive me crazy. I'm like, I don't control when I work, and you do. Why don't you just work when I'm gone? Just not understanding the differences in our jobs. But for me, that was really tough because I was craving that quality time, and you're a lot better with it now. But at that time, you weren't able to like carve out that time to give to me.
Yeah. I also think that I've gotten better at like setting that work side aside and like giving you what you need when you get home and things like that. But I also think now that Jonathan is more into like the social media, like he's getting engulfed in it a little bit more.
I hate it.
Yeah, now I think he also understands though that like sometimes I do have to work at night or like, you know, do extra work or whatever. Because even like the night before the podcast, we was both on our laptops at like 9:30 p.m. still working. So sometimes, you know, he understands that things have to be done outside of like a 9 to 5 work hour sometimes to get things ready for the next day. But
yeah, and I think it was a lot about expectations too, knowing what to expect. And I think Jess has gotten better with this too, but setting boundaries, like and you just said that, setting boundaries around the work time.
Yeah.
So before it was like this is due, I'm gonna do it, or I have to do this now. Like get used to it. But now, so she's a lot better at
I
carving.
didn't say that, by the way, y'all.
She didn't
Did
say
I?
that. No.
Like I said, get used to it.
No. But she didn't say that in those words, but like that was kind of the energy. But now she's better at carving out just like 10, 15 minutes of time, even in a busy day, to be with me so that my love tank is full. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So because of that, I feel a lot better, and I'm able to love her better because my love tank is full. My love tank is full from her.
Yeah.
You know, if that makes sense. And I
Yeah.
feel like so many couples, when either they're dating or even in friendships, like I don't just make this just a romantic thing, that when we're mad at somebody, the first thing we go to is I'm going to restrict my love from them, or I'm going to give them the silent treatment, or I'm going to give them whatever. It's like basically I'm going to withdraw the way that I usually love them so that they'll feel it.
Yeah.
You know, and I feel like there's nothing worse we can do to somebody. You know, when you're, for example, say your partner's love language is quality time or is physical touch. When you're mad, it's like I'm staying over here. Like I'm not talking to you. It's like it's trying to burn them, you know, by not giving them that love.
It's funny though, because Jonathan's so good at like making sure, like even when we're in like a weird, awkward spot or something, like he'll still like try to touch me or something. But like, even though touch is my number one, like if we're like feeling kind of awkward or like there's something in the air that we haven't spoken about, but we feel it or we're just finished, and he'll like this, I'm like, hey, you don't get your hand off. I'm like, I see what you're doing, but it's too soon. It's just not working for me. But that also helps me to like break down my walls or, you know, whatever it is, to be like, all right, he's trying, so let me try too. So,
but that's hard though.
that.
Like
it is hard, yeah,
because everything in your pride, in whatever moment, makes you feel like I'm right. They don't deserve to feel loved, or they don't deserve to get my full attention, my full, you know, my full love. So I'm going to restrict it so that they feel it and that they will apologize.
Yeah.
And I think it's important that even if we are even if we believe that we're in the right, that we still don't restrict love.
Yeah.
In the way that our partner desires to be loved.
Yeah,
from them.
you know, that kind of reminds me of like I was like in an awkward space with a friend a little while ago. And I remember I was like talking to Jonathan. I'm like, bro, like this is so silly, dog. Like, I'm like, I'm not reaching out. I always reach out. Like, I feel like I'm always the one to reach out and like say, hey, is everything okay? And like, what's wrong? And I'm like, I'm not doing that this time. And Jonathan's like, just do it one more time. And it's always gonna be one more time. Just like extend that like olive branch. And I'm like, oh, I don't want to. I'm like, if this is the way our friendship's gonna end, then that's it. Because I'm always the one reaching out. I'm always the one who has to check. And then obviously I'm like, all right, fine. I'm gonna reach out and check. And everything ended up being fine. But like, I so wanted to in that moment or in that season to be like, you know what? I'm done. I'm done being the one to extend. I don't care anymore. But Jonathan has helped me so much. I don't know if you guys are catching the running theme here, but I have a good man, okay? And he, even though he's younger than me, that has nothing really to do with anything, but he teaches me so much because we're so different. those words of affirmation, they're coming at you. We're so different, and like I think I grew up really hard, like, and I got a lot of that from my mom. She's like real hard. She's not like soft girl, soft life type thing. She's real hard. And then I grew up with two older brothers who like made me real hard. So I feel like I'm just like, man, whatever. Like I don't care. Or like I speak kind of hard sometimes. And Jonathan he grew up in such a like healthy, loving, like if you guys met Jonathan's mom, she is like such a mommy. Like she loves everyone like they're, I mean, this is kind of off topic, but like he grew up in such a more like healthy, soft, like, like I want to hug you. It's warm over there. So he like melts me a little more to like be softer with others and him. And my mom. Sometimes you hear the way I talk on the phone and like my family, he's like, what you got going on? I'm like, I don't know.
Why are you being so mean right now?
I'm like, we're all mean. I remember the other day.
Like her brother, like she'll call her brothers to talk to.
Babe, this happened one time.
No, bro, this happens all the time.
It's not true.
To talk to our nieces and nephews. And like her brother answers the phone. He's like, hey sis, what's good? She's like, bro, get off the phone. Let me talk to my niece. I was like, dang.
And guess what? It don't faze them not one
How
bit.
you know that?
I know for a fact.
How you know that?
My brothers don't care. We're all mean. We're all mean. I remember the other day my brother said something mean in our family chat, which Jonathan is in also. And I'm like, dang, like my brother's being mean. He's like, you're mean too.
I'm like, you talk like that all the time.
I'm like, you say the same stuff. I'm like, dang, our family is mean. Anyway, but we're like joking mean. But if you don't know, then I'm like, we sound kind of mean. Thanks for marrying me. Where were we?
Yeah, you're so funny. But I think that a lot of times people will say the opposite of love is hate. Mm-hmm. But I really think the opposite of love is pride. Mm-hmm. Because the thing that stops you from reaching out that's that pride. It's that, no, they don't deserve this. Like you said, like every time I reach out, every time I'm the one to reconcile, every time I'm the one to, and when we have that mindset, or it's like, oh, I was right and they're wrong, so I'm gonna wait till they tell me why they're wrong. All of those things step in the way of love, you know. And I think that once we decide, I'm gonna kill that pride, or I'm gonna die to self, you know, I'm gonna pick up my cross. A lot of that is killing that pride to be like, I know they like to be loved this way, so I'm not going to restrict my love from them, whether it be a friend, whether it be your parents, whether it be a spouse, or just a relationship. I'm not going to restrict my love based on my... Why did my voice crack like that? I'm not going to restrict my love based on my pride.
Yeah. Yeah. You know, that actually reminds me, I got stories today, and I never even told you about this yet. It was... a few weeks ago, we were driving to church early in the morning, and Jonathan was doing me a favor because I was on the worship set that morning and he wasn't, but he was like, I'll go with you. Because if you're not on worship set, you get to go at church at 11. If you are, you got to go at 8. So there's a 2-hour time difference. Anyway.
3.
Oh, 8, 9, 10, 11. 3 hours, early that he woke up just to take me to church so that we could drive home together. Anyway, so we're driving. We barely get out the complex, and Jonathan is like ready to take a turn that I thought he probably should have waited. And I was like, babe. And I like do you remember this? And I was like, I don't remember what I said, like slow down or something. He was like, what? I don't know. We both kind of like use a higher like tone of voice than we normally would with each other. And then the rest of the car ride was kind of quiet. So I remember I get to church and I'm like, you know what? I can tell. Even like when he dropped me off, like it was a little awkward. And I'm like, I'm at church and I'm like, you know what? I really want to have a nice day. It's the Lord's Day. It's Sunday. We had the rest of the day to hang out. So I text him and I'm like, babe, I'm sorry. Sorry about this morning. I love you. And I'm not going to lie. I was expecting I'm sorry too. But I said, babe, I'm sorry about this morning. I love you. And he said, I love you too. I'm like,
what do I say I'm sorry
so, excuse me? Because you yelled at me too. But your yell was in response to my yell. But I was like, I love you too. Where is your apology? Excuse me.
I don't got nothing to be sorry.
Excuse me. I was kind of sorry, but I was like, let me just say it. Because I'm kind of sorry, but I'm like, you almost killed us this morning. But he didn't think he almost. Anyway, he just hit me with the I love you too. There was no apology, but I was like, you know what? It's fine. I'm dying to self. DTS. And because Jonathan does that for me a lot. But yeah, I get my pride.
No, but the pride, but the pride is real because you definitely feel it like in your chest, and it really does feel a lot of times when you're loving in spite of how you feel that a part of you is dying. Yeah. It feels like a part of you is like, you know, it's like I don't want to love you right now, but like just having to do it is just so important for whatever relationship, you know.
Yeah, I think that's so important. And I'll speak for myself because I'm a woman, but in female friendships, I think it's extremely important. I also think that's one of the reasons why a lot of female friendships don't last. Like, especially like when it comes to like friend groups fall apart a lot. I think it's due to like lack of communication. And I feel like as women, sometimes, maybe I'll just speak for myself. I don't know. I don't like to generalize things, but I'm going to in
Just
this
say
instance.
in your
In
experience.
my experience, that's good. In my experience, when like something shady happens or like something happens, we just don't talk about it anymore and the friendship falls apart. And I've actually had a lot of people ask me like, how do you have so many friends? And like, how do you have all these best friends? Because I am like, I get like one more best friend each year. Like now I have too many. I'm like, okay, I gotta cut the list down a little bit. But like, because we communicate, we talk. If something bothers us, somebody's going to say something. It may not always be on both sides, but one of us are going to say something. And that is how I've been able to maintain my friendships because we communicate. And that's the same thing in marriage, in relationships, period. Like the communication just has to be there. I feel like in love languages, I feel like communication or expectation should be one of them because we got here from talking about expectations. I don't know how that happened.
No, but yeah, but that's good though. It's not necessarily a love language or a way to communicate love, but I do think it's important communications and expectations for any relationship, not as like the language, but as maybe like a nonverbal communication. You know what I mean? Like in terms of like languages like spoken communication, but like in the not, it's like a part of it, but it's not like a language per se. If that makes sense.
But you know what? The love languages. There's nothing about love languages in the Bible, is there?
No, it's just a tool, you know, just to kind of help us understand one another and help see how people are loved and to love them in the way that they best feel loved.
Yeah.
And I think that everyone's a little bit different. So like for you, if I just bought you a bunch of gifts, that wouldn't result in you feeling really loved. I mean, you would appreciate it, like thanks. But like, are you gonna touch me? You know, and that kind of thing. But one thing I thought about, and speaking of like the biblical, like where this kind of connects, I think that God is so good because he built us all differently to experience love differently, to give love differently, but he fulfilled all the ways of love.
Oh my gosh, I was just, you in my head. I was like trying to think, I'm like, I feel like Jesus has given us all of the different type of love languages. Like as a gift, you know, he gave up his life. Words of affirmation. I mean, there's so many words of affirmation in the Bible about how Jesus loves us and how like we're made in his image. Acts of service. Well, he also died on the cross again. That's a pretty big act of service.
Yeah, I'd say so.
The act of service of all acts of services. Quality time. He's always with us.
Yeah, and through
Physical
the Holy
touch.
Spirit.
But holding us.
But physical touch, I think, is one that's super interesting too, because you know, in the Word it says that we as believers are the hands and feet of the church, right? So anytime you get a hug from from a believer or from a friend or from someone around you, that's a way of God showing his love for you as well.
Yeah.
You know, it's his gift of physical touch through the church with you, since he's not here physically with us right now. So I just think it's just so beautiful, like such a beautiful picture of that God loved us in each of these ways, and we have access to love in all those ways. So we can look to an example in Jesus and see this is how he loved in that way.
Yeah.
And this is how I can love in that way too, using him as a guide and as an example. Yeah.
That's good because.
It's good because.
What time is it? Yeah.
No, but I think that's good.
Yeah,
I mean,
we hate to cut it short. I mean, yeah, it's not even necessarily cutting it short, but like this doesn't need to be drawn on. I think it's actually like it's like black and white. However the person that you're with or the friendship that you have, love them how they want to be loved. Don't love someone the way you want to be loved unless you guys have the same love languages. Like, I mean, I could be with Jonathan all day touching him, but I'm on my phone, he gets no love. Jonathan could be on his phone all day touching me and I feel amazing, but it don't work vice versa.
Yeah, and I think in general, as you know, people who want to love well and want to show love well, I think one thing my dad always said is do what love requires. Right? Sometimes for me, giving words of affirmation feels very annoying.
Well, you know what? Quality time feel kind of annoying too.
No, and I mean no, but that's real though. You know, just because you don't feel like giving it in that way, or you think it's kind of dumb. Like say, like if gifts is your number 5 and gifts is someone that you care about's number 1, you give gifts because that's what love requires of you. You know, not because you feel like it. Because if we only did things when we felt like it,
Oh yeah,
a lot of things wouldn't get done.
Yeah.
You know, so I think it's just like a call for us to do what love requires of us.
Aren't you happy that mine's not gifts?
Well, I mean, I feel like gifts doesn't have to be like intense. Like it doesn't have to be like I want a diamond ring. You can be like I made you a card.
Yeah, but do you always want to make me a card?
No, that'd be really annoying.
That's what I'm saying. Like, don't try to be like, yeah. Aren't you happy that mine is not gifts?
Yes, I am.
I'm
Because
happy
gifts are
either.
both of our last ones. So
Yeah, and I feel like it's so hard to buy men gifts. Like y'all, Jonathan's birthday is coming up and our anniversary, and I'm like scrambling. I'm like, Lord, please drop something in my spirit because I don't know what to get this man. Gifts.
Anniversary stuff. I do not know.
Yeah, I mean,
can we just go out to like
I feel
dinner
like,
or something?
Yeah, for anniversaries at this point, I mean, it's only our second anniversary, but like, I feel like experience together, like dinner or like going somewhere.
Yeah, you're saying this now, but please don't set me up for the okie doke.
Yeah, no, I feel like as long as if we go to like a hotel or something, as long as the coach purse is in the room, the bed,
you see how she moves?
then we're good.
You see how she moves?
It's a part of the experience.
All right, thanks for joining the Between the Walls podcast.
Yeah,
and we'll see you guys.
next week. Bye.